All right, so in today's video, we are watching a Plat Mercy who was formerly in Diamond and is now, and this is a gold lobby, is saying that they've been struggling a bit and they want to know what they can do, what they can improve on. They also say that this game they feel was down to their DPS wouldn't play high ground and they wouldn't listen to any of their pings. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what can be improved upon. Obviously, I do my best when I figuring out what can go on here. We'll see what happens. It's time. Like the video, subscribe to the video, or subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. That all helps. I don't know why we were so aggressive with that one. Here we go. I love how DPS doesn't play high ground. We immediately have a Cassidy playing high ground. I'm sure that's not the case, but I love the start to that. Not playing high ground. Meanwhile, I have a Cass on high ground and a Soldier on high ground. Keep in mind, high ground starts are different than like later on. You notice how the Soldier is now. Oh, apparently this is a high ground spot. Now everybody is on the low ground. It's just a funny start. Good shot by their... You can probably get this. Ooh, I don't know. I'm actually okay with you not going for the res there. At the same time, you could have. That's like a communication thing with your team because you have a Zarya. So, like, I think maybe you could have res that because I didn't have any pressure elsewhere. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I'm the best to go for when it comes to when you should res. Chat knows that if I play Mercy, you've seen how I go for reses. Listen, sometimes you got to go for the risk reward. I just so happen to go for that every time when I play Mercy. It's a safe play, so I'm okay with it, and they're already back in time. You know what I'm saying? So far, so good. I do want to point out if this is where you're worried about your DPS not playing high ground, there's a certain part on Route 66 where if your teammates are playing as well as they are right now, that you can all kind of stack as a core and play this. The real issue on Route 66, actually this is probably a good time to do this. The real issue on Route 66 is the one thing about the Epic Pen is like, why is it stuck? Okay, there we go. We good? Nope. It's not giving me the pen! I don't know what my cursor is! My cursor's still gone. There it is. Now it's back. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that until they go up here and the other team tries to make a play, if your team wants to play this angle, you're fine, right? You don't even have to worry about that for now. They're also on Mercy's end, so like Mercy's end, while it has its like strengths, the weakness is that you can poke damage them a lot right now. So I'm okay with where your team's playing. I think it's okay. Don't be afraid to Valk aggressively here, especially as your team pushes in a little bit. But so far, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Now they're high ground. This is actually a good time to Valk, by the way. Okay, don't Valk now. But if they go high ground, right? This is actually one of those plays where I wouldn't mind it if they go top right, you Valk, and then you just kill the Hanzo top right. Okay, Hanzo's main now, but like, don't be afraid to do that. Damage boost your Soldier, damage boost your Soldier, damage boost your Soldier in that situation. So your Soldier has their ult. You focus on healing your Zarya, but your Zarya was gonna be fine. That's a situation where like, I want you to go to your DPS who's also on high ground and damage boost them. So. Yep, they're behind you. That's fine. Ideally, you'd fall back to the high ground above if your team needed to, but like your team's doing okay. So far, okay. A lot of damage taken there. Your Soldier ran into it. That's on your Soldier. I think it's fine so far. What rank? This is, I think, a gold lobby, they said. They said they were in Diamond before, and they're trying to figure out, like, how to, like, help out in these gold lobbies. But so far, like, everything's been fine. It's just, like, this is one of those situations where your teammates just are... I don't know, it's like... Okay, and this is why it's a call-out that we have in a lot of our rank games of just dying on the cart. And the reason why you die on the cart, right, is because if you get staggered while they're pushing the cart, you lose a team fight. If you all die in the cart, you have a retake, and it gives you opportunity. So at a certain point, you just need to, like, tell your team, let's just die in the cart, die in the cart, die in the cart quickly. Because if you die in the cart back here, you're already going to be retaking this. If you all back up and try to survive a team fight, you're probably not going to win. Now that cart pushes, you've lost your retake time in, and just like that, you've given up first point for free. That's why it's important to die in the objective sometimes. Because, like, that type of stuff happens. Like, right there, that type of stuff happens. So. Are you asking, does it happen sometimes where If too many ults are popped, you don't hear the sound? Yes. I've actually mentioned that a few times where, like, I'll hear 2 ultimates, and then the one ult I wanted to, like, prevent from happening, I won't even hear, and I don't, yeah. It's definitely just, I think it's too many things happening at once. Uh-oh. So far, your team's just getting snowballed. Like, right now, you're staggering. Like, just die on the cart. Like, your team is even you're staggering now. See this? That's all that you're staggering. Die on the cart if you don't know what to do, and the team fight is essentially over. The easiest default is to die on the cart. Even 1 extra second, 2 extra seconds of you just sitting on the cart can be the make or break between a retake. Remember that. Sometimes that extra second is just enough time for your teammates to be able to make a play. But you staggered. This is why you lost first and second. Your team basically snowballed when all you had to do was die on the cart. That's it. But every time, 3v5, trying to get away, next thing you know, they win every team fight in a row. See? Do. All right. No, the answer is if you're getting snowballed, go on the cart. I'm telling you. That's why. Remember how you had a minute on first and why it's all the way here? Damage boost your soldier. Let your Moira take care of the Zarya for now. You're fine. You know, and this is a little bit of like a side note, and chat may or may know what I'm talking about here. I think sometimes there becomes this like almost scenario where you want to just like constantly see your teammates like HP go to 100%. And if you've played like MMOs as a healer, I get that because like whenever I play MMOs, I usually play healer now. Obviously support in Overwatch, and like sometimes it's okay to leave your Zarya at 50% HP if you have a Moira there, to make sure that you are keeping your teammate alive. And yes, I noticed they weren't looking at the pings. I do agree. I think sometimes you have to like be like, okay, what's going to win the team fight here more than, oh, my Zarya's at 50% HP. I have to get them to full HP at that point. Now, the card argument is your Zarya will then get mad somehow because they'll run in a straight line. Actually, we just watched a VOD where the tank was running at them and was like, oh, what is our Mercy doing? When in reality, I like how, you know what? I respect this. I respect it. Hey, you know what? I respect that. Nice play. I love how your teammates did ignore your pings. You were right about that one. You're like, I've had enough. I ain't doing this anymore. I'm just, you know? Hey, right now, damage boost your Zarya, or not your Zarya. Actually, yes, you can damage boost your Zarya if they're fully charged. But, like, let your Moira have a little bit of, like, this. Your Zarya will be fine, right? Let your Moira take care of that for now. Work with this Ashe. Work with the soldier. Remember you said about high ground? Your Ashe is on high ground now. Give them that value of the damage boost, and they'll stay up there. They'll chill. Just stay there with them. You can heal a little bit of Zarya, but remember, you have a Moira. Your Moira can take care of that. What's going to win the team fight for you here? A Zarya who has 50% HP, hide behind a wall, taking no damage, or your Ashe being damage boosted? Damage boost. Just damage boost. Yep, I respect this. I respect this. There you go. Wait for it. I'm getting out of there. Damage boost. Yep, your Moira's got that. Keep your Moira alive. No, first of all, Mercy having those shots to be able to hit, that's always been a thing with Mercy. Just a little bit more now. I mean, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, so far, I feel like your DPS haven't been playing as, like, kind of out of position as you were mentioning. I think really right now, something I want you to focus on, because you mentioned that, like, you know, you're struggling a little bit in these lobbies and you want to figure stuff out. It's okay to damage boost your Ashe the whole time while your Zarya is in a good spot at 50% HP. Zarya has bubbles. You have a Moira. Like, now they're on Kiriko, but you had a Moira. Like trust them to keep them alive. I think right now, especially with Mercy, like, Mercy's biggest issue is going to be able to keep the tank alive, right? Because, like, in some ranks, the default strategy was to just pocket the tank as Mercy, right? But now it's a little bit more about, like, bring that damage boost value to your DPS, heal when needed, but also recognize, like, if they're not in a good spot, your Moira is going to be more than enough to keep them alive, and you can bring a ton of value with your other teammate. You can protect them. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, right? So remember that. 20% healing reduction now in tanks makes it a lot harder to just pocket the tank, because you're going to be healing for a lot less. But that means there also going to be value elsewhere that can be brought to the team, and the next thing you know, you're popping off. Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I would love to see Valk being used a little bit earlier, but I'm also gonna, like, sometimes it's also playstyle based, and if you want to save your Valk a little bit longer for the right moments, I'm not gonna be like, what are you doing? I would use it more aggressively, because Valk also brings value to your whole team. That, or you could just go roll a DPS if they're out of position. So. Damage boost. A little bit more damage boost in a second. Zarya's gonna be okay. Your Zarya's fine. They're actually your Zarya's playing cover pretty well. Just stay with your soldier for a second. Just pretend your Zarya's okay for a second. Like, just go. Like, let your Zarya do their thing. Let your Kiriko help them. Help your cast. You're with the cast. Don't even worry about. Just keep your cast alive. Keep your cast alive. You wanted high ground. Perfect. Good job. Good damage boost. Good job. This is what you want to see more of, right? Your Zarya's gonna be fine. If it becomes an issue and, like, your Zarya starts running in a straight line at them and gets rolled, then that's a different story. But your Zarya's playing good enough position where you can do things like this, and you'll be in a very, very, very good spot. Especially if your DPS are hitting shots, which they are. Alright? Which they are. I'm not even going to complain about the Valk. I think this is fine. Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Good bubble by your Zarya. Your Zarya just saved that. That's your cast out of position, not on you. They weren't really out of position. They were in a good spot, but then your team took a while on this. Okay, so I have a question on this one. And I want to point this out as an example. Let's pause for a second. I like that play. I like that play by you to get the DPS there. Now let me ask you a question. What is something that you noticed about that play, though, chat? Like, what's the thing that you noticed about that play that it's kind of what we've been talking about? Okay, you ready? The Mercy didn't worry about the Zarya. You had no problem going up there and 1v1 of the cast, not worrying about your teammates. Your teammates were fine. Am I correct? Your teammate was fine. Or not the cast. They went for the soldier. Excuse me. Sorry, I was thinking about the cast from earlier. The point I'm making is you had no problem, or the Ana. Sorry, the Ana. I was thinking about the cast that was out of position earlier, so I was thinking about two different steps, and you went and got the Ana. Excuse me on that one. Sorry. You went and got the Ana. I was thinking about the cast that got rolled beforehand. Point is, you weren't worried about your teammates because your teammates were fine. Your Zarya was fine. You went in DPS. This is what I mean about the same thing. Now, take that same play, go damage boost somebody who's at a good angle. Don't worry about your Zarya as much because they're going to be fine. Right now, they are. So far, everything has been... There's an indication that everything's been fine, and your Zarya can stay alive on point. Damage boost your soldier on an off angle. Give them that value, and everything will be fine. Because I just watched you play exactly how you would play if you weren't going to be healing your Zarya, and it was just fine. Do the same thing here. Okay, now you might have to heal your Zarya. I love how that whole talk, and then they have a Rein. No, your Zarya will be fine. Rein won't get as much value as Rein normally would against Zarya right now. At least in my opinion. Here it goes. Now you have to focus a little bit more here. If you want a Valk, you can. But if your team just backs up, that's going to be a better play. Okay, you have to heal your Zarya now. This is fine. Lost your Kiriko. Don't be afraid to Valk this now to kind of keep the momentum going. I'm still okay with this Valk. You lost a teammate. Good res, good bubble by your Zarya. Okay. Nice. There we go. There we go. See, you're not worried about your teammates. So this is certainly a duel. I still like it though. That's it. I still like it though. Listen. I'm just glad to see not the like being so focused on the Zarya because you still won the team fight. All right. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. Okay. But what you're doing now is you've shifted that and things are better because you went from like, okay, I'm just gonna keep my Zarya alive to I'm gonna go make a play. I'm gonna damage boost my Cassidy. I'm not gonna sit here and just pocket the tank. See? Unless you can damage boost Zarya, by the way. Damage boost Zarya high ground right now is gonna be a little bit better. I would say damage boost Zarya. Like you damage boosting that Zarya right now on the high ground would be huge. Nice job. Good movement to get the res off. Cast might get you. Nope. Keep the damage boost up. Keep the damage boost. Keep damage boosting. There you go. So that's been the difference. When you stop just sitting there and holding like for pocketing your tank, what's happening? Now you're making plays. See what I'm saying? And we're not saying don't heal teammates. We're saying if your teammates are fine, you don't have to just sit there and keep your Zarya, you know, above 85% HP at all times. Big slam. Whoa, that's a... You know? Remember when I said that sometimes you go for the risky reses? That's what I'm talking about. You know, sometimes you just gotta go for it. What happens, you know? What if you do get that res off? That gives more outcharge to the other team because there's no way your Zarya is surviving that. So, you know?
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Damage boost. Just damage boost. Yep. Don't worry about him yet. Just damage boost. Damage boost. There you go. Wonderful. Well played. I love that. That was good. That was great. Valk to keep the momentum here. Right now. Keep the momentum going for your team. Definitely keep the momentum going for your team now. There you go. Damage boost to Cassidy. High Nuna behind you. Or above you. Perfect. Well, you healed him. Okay. Still, it worked out. Good res. Damage boost for a second. Damage boost. Good. Kill the Rhine or the Life Weaver, whatever works for you. Get the elim. Going on high. Perfect. Okay, so like, just go back to this. Your DPS are playing fine. I really do think this is just about you finding that balance between heal boosting and damage boosting that will really result in a lot better plays for you. Because you spend so much time being like, oh, my DPS aren't going high ground. They're not following my pings. Meanwhile, your Zarya, you're holding left click on them, keeping your Zarya alive, but your Zarya is fine. Remember, the damage boost is so good right now that if you can find these DPS who are hitting shots, who are willing to make these plays, if you give them that damage boost, you can still heal your Zarya. But lead off with that rather than just sit there and try to keep your Zarya alive when you know that your Moira and your Kiriko have proven that they can keep them alive without you worrying about them. And the more that you did that, the more confident you started to get in your DPS to do that, when in reality, you could have been doing that from the get-go. And this game may not even be as close as it is because your teammates are playing great. So I think you talked about like these lobbies you struggle in that. Finding right away if you can do that or like how you need to play. See how your tank's playing. If your tank's playing cover, you can damage boost way more. Your Zarya was doing a good job of that for the most part. How is your other support doing with the tank? Doing good? Even more so you can damage boost now. Figure that out really early on in your game, and you'll be in a really good spot. I think you'll start to climb back up a little bit if you can do that. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. Leave a comment too, helps a ton. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you submit all that stuff. A bunch of stuff on there you can submit. We have a lot of really cool series going on. Also, we record these live on stream, so if you look below the webcam, you can see the Twitch chat right there. We have a lot of fun here, so stop by if you haven't. And with that being said, I hope you have an amazing day/night.